My video for February the 27th, 2019 is video number 3009. The title is David Icke Banned from Australia. These are David Icke's words, quote, "I was shocked and appalled to have received the news earlier today that my visa had been revoked just hours before boarding a flight to Australia by Immigration Minister David Coleman. I have been a victim of a smear campaign from politicians who have been listening to special interest groups attempting to discredit my beliefs, my views, and my character by spreading lies. I would like to clarify the following in no uncertain terms. 1, I am not anti-Semitic. 2, I am not a Holocaust denier. 3, I do not wish to have Holocaust denial be taught in schools. With no shred of evidence, these ploys have worked. My previously approved visa, accepted last September, has been vetted by the highest levels of government in Australia, but has now been thrown out at the last hour. This is due to pressure not only from these groups, but also from an article in the Australian today stating libellous claims. I was never given the right to reply to despite requesting the chance to speak before the article was published. ... I have been to Australia 10 times since 1997 for speaking engagements, and there has never been a single problem or incident," end quote. Besides Coleman, 2 Zionists were involved in the ban. Kate Ashmor, and I don't know how to pronounce, Dvir Abramovich. Folks, I have to repeat once again that Zionism does not equal Judaism. Zionism is a political movement, and the Zionists have an agenda to control information. They own all of the major networks in the United States. And Fox, of course, as I've said, allows some truth to get out more than any of the others. But they're all crooked. They're all run by Zionist interests. And what are Zionist interests? Zionist interests want to control the financial structure in the whole world. They are the international bankers. They are the ones that have set up oppositional groups to fight each other, whether they're religions or political movements. They set them up to fight each other because their game plan is war. Their game plan is control. And they divert our attention by getting us to focus on one thing and not on the things that count. They have, it's political chicanery, it's spiritual adulteration of basic truths that we're supposed to love one another. We can't love one another if we don't listen. And listening is forbidden. They want us to be yelling at each other. And when you're yelling at each other, you don't listen. David Icke, I don't agree with all that he says, but I agree with much of what he says. And I hold him up as a hero for what he has been doing for such a long time. He was greatly ridiculed in the beginning when he first came out. He would set up speaking engagements where he had to set up the chairs in the room, and maybe a handful or 2 of people would show up to his early talks. Now he fills some of the largest auditoriums all over the world. And he was planning on speaking in in Melbourne, Australia, and I don't know which other cities, but I think there were 4 cities that were on the tour that he had speaking engagements that he was to be conducting. And thousands of people attend these things. And now they've got to figure out how to refund all the money that people paid for engagements that can't be held. So there's extra costs going to be involved in making these refunds and giving people back the money that they paid for something that David Icke had nothing to do with stopping. It was, again, primarily 3 people, if the report is true. Now, I'm sure there were more people involved than just those 3. But again, it's the Zionists that are so threatened because they are the ones that have taken over the money system worldwide, and they play in the financial and political arena, and of course the media, and they try to control what you and I can think, what you and I can say, and what you and I believe is true. Now, I don't like the word believe because it has a lie in it, but I use that because it's common usage. We have to get beyond beliefs, and we have to know the truth. We have to have the truth told. We cannot be free as long as the media is controlled by liars, as long as the political system is controlled by liars. People get upset at me because I don't support Donald Trump. I don't support him because there is so much Zionist influence in his administration. And this is a problem to me. I mean, I wish David Icke and all of the voices that are trying to wake people up would be given full expression and allowed to get the message out so that people could choose what they want to hear. And in the case of this trip that was planned to Australia, you know, he had sold, I'm sure every one of the events was sold out because that's how David Icke has been. In fact, people get turned away because there's not enough room in some of the largest auditoriums to seat everybody that would like to be there. I'm sure if he had to do it, he could do back-to-back days and fill it 2 days in a row in the same venue. I don't know if that's true or not. That's speculation on my part. But I'm trying to get the point across, folks, that we have to shut down Zionism. Zionism is the problem. It has been the problem for a very long time. The Illuminati is a Zionist-controlled faction. And again, these are not Jews that are Semites. I mean, they use the term anti-Semitic. They're not Semites. They are Ashkenazis. Ashkenazis are not Semitic people. The Palestinians are Semitic, not the Jews of modern Israel. These are things that have been distorted. We've been lied to, and the lies have been promulgated by those that hold political power, those that have monetary resources. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what makes that happen. But anyway, folks, I want there to be an awakening. And I would like our Creator to begin to take responsibility for creation. And somebody sent me a thing recently about speaking negative, where we shouldn't speak negative about things. And I've had to leave groups and separate myself from people that I really care about and really respect because they have been swallowed into this belief that we don't speak negative things. And by negative things, they mean political things. And that's where the problem is. Thank you, folks, for listening. And I hope there is an awakening, and I hope God takes responsibility. Thank you. Namaste.